Hello and welcome back to another video. This time we're looking at push-pull trains and how they've changed slightly. So firstly, I should mention the last time we talked about push-pull trains, I mentioned how we could only make a push-pull station work with more than 2 stations if we used a T-junction, and even still we could only run 3 stations along a push-pull circuit. Now, I don't know whether it's just been patched or maybe I missed it when I was trying to work out a solution, but we can now use a push-pull train along multiple stations, and we're going to be talking about how we do that and how we sort out the configuration so it works for you guys today. So the way a push-pull configuration works is having a locomotive facing one direction, and then you have your freight cars and the other locomotive facing the opposite direction. Now this way a train can go to one station and then return to the initial station. So although the T-junction style push-pull configuration looks cool, it's not that efficient unless you're running 2 separate long push-pull systems along one track. So maybe you have one push-pull along one track and then you have a second train using the push-pull method. Unfortunately, this takes a bit of timing. While the initial train is at the opposite end of the line, the second train is at the other end and then veers off and goes along another separate route. However, it does take a lot of timing and it would become very complicated if you don't want them to collide at some point and obviously cause bugs. So with this multiple station method, what you have to do is place your first train station facing the opposite direction to the rest of the train stations. Then place your first line of track, and then when you've reached your second train station, you have to have one station facing the initial station, and then you have your freight depots, followed by another station facing the opposite end of the line. And then you're going to repeat the process, so more rails, and then another multi-station setup, let's just say to make it short, followed by more rails and another multi-station setup, followed by more rails and your end station, which will be just a single train station facing the end of the line. Now from there, if you use the push-pull trains, they're still not going to work. They'll go to one end and then they might go back to the start, but they won't stop at each station along the way. So in order to work around this, what you need to do is name the station something easy to remember. So for example, I've done A1, which is the first station, the base station. Then I've done for the next multi-station, B2 and B1. Then for the following multi-station, C2, C1, the following D2, D1, and then the end station, E1. And now we need to tell the train how to path it properly. So we have the first station, A1, then it's going to move to B1, then C1, D1, and finish off at E1. And once it gets to E1, we need to switch the pathing around so that it goes from E1 to D2, then C2 and B2, and then it will map itself back to A1. Now the reason why I've named the stations slightly out of order, you'd note that I've gone A1, B2, B1, it's so that I know which stations are the correct ones. So the ones that are facing towards A1 are the station 2 of each. And the one that is along the first line going towards E1 is obviously station 1 of that group. And so that's just a really easy way to set it all up, and then you should be able to leave it without any issues. Some people have said to me that they have bugs where it stops working after a couple of hours. I've not had this issue except when I've jumped in game, but as soon as I drive the train once again, it starts working. So Unfortunately, I think that's just a bug, but it does allow you to work this multi-train system and setup, which I know a lot of you guys have been wanting. So there you are, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very quick tutorial guide. If you did, please drop a thumbs up, and if you want to see more and you haven't already, do make sure you subscribe, as we are putting out a lot of guides for Satisfactory. As and when the game's releasing new updates, we're keeping up with all new stuff. So there you are, guys. That's all we have time for in this video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Ciao for now.